Okay. That's all blurry and stuff. We'll see what I can do here. So what we're going to start with here is a 2018 Chevy Malibu. And we're going to do a code scan of all the modules. So don't go into the engine. This thing came in with a check engine light. And we're going to scan them all. 15% done. 25, 32. Just looking at all the modules to see if there's anything that's related between the modules. Communications can't go by just the engine alone, because modern day vehicles, everybody talks, everybody gets information from each other. $80, $83, getting there, 90, 100%. So let's have a look at these. Now find some way of recording these things. For me, thankfully, with the Snap-on, these have already been recorded in this particular one without having to hit save or anything. Right here, another file. So there's my 2018 Malibu, complete with the VIN, complete with, scroll down here, grab it, pull it down, all of the codes from all the modules. Okay. Is that it? That's it. No more. Oh, there's more. Finger's not working. Anyways. Holy moly. Now, if you have a printer available, it makes it really easy. And a lot of tire pressure monitors here because it has the winter tires on, but don't have the sensors matched up to the vehicle. The code that we're going to worry about most here today, let's go back up to the top here. It's check engine light on issue. Come on, back to the top. Okay. So in the transmission here, we have the P0826, the up and down shift switch circuit issue. I had to do this once under warranty at the dealership. They're kind of known to have an issue. Usually it's the wires down the bottom between the shifter and the base. And they'll, from years of going back and forth, the wires at the bottom will fray and break and stuff like that. Right now I find that if I wiggle the shifter, I can make the buttons work, because they'll just kind of make contact. So we know what that problem is. It doesn't stop the vehicle from driving right. It just means that when you go to manually downshift, yes, my dog has bad breath. Don't worry about it. When you go to manually shift, it doesn't always want to do it, so you have to give it a little wiggle for now. I'll fix that later. But this is the one here we're after. This is the one that prevents the remote start from working on the vehicle. P1101, intake airflow system performance. Symptom 00, test failed since TDC. Has history. Has not passed since startup. So it's a pretty active thing. Warning indicator requested. So that's what's put on their bill light. Back to the transmission one. It doesn't mention anything about turn on the check engine light. Doesn't mean it won't, but usually it'll say it'll be requested. Or there might be a code, like a P0700, for example, and that's just a code to say, hey, another module has turned on the light here. So we're going to exit out of this, and we want to see when this happened. Go back again. So now we're going to go into engine. They're not clearing codes yet. Don't you dare. Go into the code menu. And then we're going to look at freeze frame. Here we are. Freeze frame failure. There's their code. Over on the end here has this little box. Click the box. Now this is our capture of when it caught the issue. There's lots of good information in here. So, distance since last failure in miles. So we're in Canada. We can convert that to kilometers. You do the math or ask Google. It will do it for you. Look, ignition cycles. Only 2 ignition cycles go. Was the last failure. Ignition cycles without complete tests. So I'll test it once in a while and check for it. Time, so distance since it's last cleared. Lots of good information. So we can see here. So we want to know when this happens, right? Maybe a customer says, "Oh yeah, I see my check engine light come on when I come to a stop," and they look at the freeze frame data, and you'll see that, hey, I see it happen at like 90 kilometers an hour when you're doing, or 60 miles an hour, whatever the conversion is, 55. You only notice the light when you come to a stop in the city. So it's not that the light comes on at a stop, but this is why we always have to check freeze frame data, because not only the customers may not be aware when the symptom actually happened, but it also gives us a capture of what the computer is seeing wrong. So, look at this. Desired throttle position, 23. Well, what's our... Do we have an accelerator pedal position? Oh, look. Accelerator pedal position is at 0. So, that's interesting right there. Because that means we're not stepping on the gas. But the computer is trying to open that sucker up and let more air in. What's our engine RPM? Is at 887, so almost 900 RPM. Are we driving down the road yet? Long-term fuel pressure or fuel trim, -3. Fuel available pressure is a high pressure system. It's at 565. That sounds like it's in spec. We don't have an out of spec thing. Ignition timing. Oh wow, oh, that's interesting. It's pulling timing away. It's 3 degrees after top to center. Brake pedal position circuit. So not stepping on the brake. My reference voltage is okay here. 5 for each. Engine run time. This is set after 1 minute and 30 seconds of driving. More good information. So there's no sense in driving this thing for half an hour on the highway to try to get a check engine light when we can see here our vehicle speed is 0 and has been sitting there for 1 minute 30. This will quite often set during a remote start, if a remote starts at all. Desired boost, PSI, short-term fuel trim, -12. So between, what do we see over here? -3 and -12. So it's a -15. It's taking a lot of fuel out of this. It's not atrocious, but at idle. So it's opening up the throttle to allow more air in and taking fuel away. So it's thinking that it's running too rich at idle. Okay. And let's see, fuel pressure sensor, PSI. This is our downstream one. This is the low pressure side before it hits the high stream. 57.4, I'm okay with that. We'll double check those specs, make sure that those are okay. more 5-volt voltage on the rest of the system for 1 and 3 is good. So before that, okay, here's another good point. If this is only coming on first thing in the morning, the way we look at that is look at the engine off time and freeze frame data. Now, if this was after like a 20-minute sit, like you just run to the store or grab gas and hop back in the car, this timer will be a lot less. 16 and a half hours means that basically you came home after work and sat over dinner, sat over overnight, and then the next morning kind of thing, went out mid-morning, noon, weekend, whatever. That's how long you had to sit for. So if you have an intermittent issue that's only like a cold start, that will give that away. So again, do not be clean off freeze frame data. So what I'm going to do here, because it's an older scan tool. Now, if you had to take pictures of all this, that's fine. For me, I'm going to do it this way. Bring it right up to the top. I can do a screen capture. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this down. I really wish I just had a save button, but this is old school screen capture. So I'm going to boost picture down to the bottom. And then this should be the last one. That one there. So now not all vehicles have this much information. Some have more, some have less. Some have like a series of 5 captures in a row. I know Toyota will sometimes do that. So you look at the lead up to the point of failure and then what happened after the point of failure. So it's a nice feature. Now let's go take this information to our, let's see. We're going to go look up this code and stuff and check for technical service bulletins, also known as TSBs, to see if there's any known issues and look up what it takes to set this code. So the parameters, what is the computer looking for this code to activate. So we still haven't cleared the codes off yet because we still may need more information out of here or further testing and stuff like that.